Seems I can't get enough of whatever this is. Okay. So, I was saying earlier today, I was saying we can like totally um, bundle our user scripts if we want to. So let's look at the example real quick of some of the scripts I have in my dashboard. So I have got these two have quite a bit of, I mean, they're very tiny, right? But they've got like this repeated code here. And so it's not a big deal when it's a small amount, but it's kind of maybe an opportunity. We'll just show how we can bundle these. I've done this before. I don't know that I'm gonna know how to do it now, but we'll take a shot at it. So I'm pretty rusty, but whatever. There's nothing you can do but just practice. So we're just gonna use Webpack to bundle, and we're gonna see what that kind of looks like. Just go here. Okay. Okay, so we'll install Webpack. Hopefully it'll be like the latest version. I don't know. We just installed these. Okay. So we'll use Webpack. So if we go into Node, for example, and say something like Webpack, I think we can run Webpack. I don't know. I don't remember what it is. It looks like it's a function. So if we just put some code in here, then let's say some long sentence equals a. Then all right. Just change this. So let's see what we get out if we just Webpack this much. I don't know. Whoa, okay, so I called the function and this is what came out. Oh no. Invalid configuration object. Okay, so it's a function, but it's a constructor, apparently, because we're going to configure something. Okay, so let's just call Webpack with passing nothing. And now what does it say? We got out. We got an invalid configuration object. Okay. Well, do I remember how to configure it? No, not really. That's fine, we'll figure it out. Oh, I don't have any music on. Okay, I'll take just a second to try and put on some music. I keep going to the wrong place. I need to star the actual correct place on Stream Elements. It's streamelements.com/dashboard/media request/general. I don't know. I'm going to star it and hopefully it'll come up more easily. Okay, so I just hit up next, play. Okay, so I hear something. Let's choose some kind of song. All right. So Webpack, I'll change the title also because I'm not doing binary, at least not right now. Is Webpack an alien life form? Okay. I don't know. Okay, so we did this. We installed Webpack. So now when we construct the Webpack object, it requires some manner of configuration. All right. And of course, I could look this up in my GitHub repo, and that might be more fun because I could just move past this part. But it also might be fun to kind of find it in here again. So we totally, that seems a little loud. Okay, so write your own loaders. Pretty sure we don't need our own loader. We're going to do just a very standard bundle. So let's look into documentation. This is under contributing, so I don't know. Repository for Webpack documentation and more. Homepage. Bundler for JavaScript and friends. Ah, yes, very friendly. Love it. Okay. Let's, yeah, this is what I was just looking at. So we're going to bundle something. Get started guide. So you can interact with either the CLI or API. We want API. Okay, so here they constructed it with an empty configuration object. Ah, you know, that should have been the next thing I tried. Okay, so let's see what happens if we do that. And they passed a handler in there, but let's see if we can just do this. So no configuration needed. What came out? Looks like a lot. Is that good? Okay, so I'm going to say WP equals Webpack with an empty configuration. Okay. WP, so it's an object, right? And so now that we have it, we're going to use one of its methods to bundle everything. I don't remember what method it is. Run. If you don't pass a callback, it will return a compiler instance. Okay, so that's what we did. Manually trigger the Webpack runner or have it build and watch for changes. Okay, cool. Let's do the manually trigger. So that's run, right? Okay. So run takes a callback. But do we just pass a string of JavaScript code into somewhere? I think we do. I just don't remember where. And there's kind of a lot on this API. Don't forget to close the compiler so that low priority work, like persistent caching, have the opportunity to complete. Only supports a single concurrent compilation at a time. When using run or watch, call close and wait for it to finish before calling run or watch again. Okay. I may just look it up in my GitHub repo. I'm on the fence. If I'm on the fence, I'm gonna flip a coin. I'm gonna flip. Okay. Heads, I'll try and look it up in my GitHub repo. Tails, I'll try and muddle through based on what I'm seeing here. It came out tails. I'll try to muddle through based on what I'm seeing here. I don't think my song came out. Let's try another one. Added the song. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so if we do run, it takes a callback. So it seems like this is going to try to compile files from that are in the file system, is what I'm guessing, based on whatever configuration that you passed in. I certainly don't think that's the only way to do it. That's not the way I did it before. I don't think. I think we can, I want to say we can just bundle a string. Webpack bundle from string? I don't know. This might be related. Gulp. Val loader. You know, I must misremember what I did, so I am actually going to look it up. You know, when I Googled this before, my repo actually came up. Here it is. Okay. So, I'm going to look up how I did this before. You can see this was quite a while ago. Okay, bundle build. All right. So I require Webpack, and then what do I do with it? I get a bunch of files, bundle. So then I create this bundle function, which we're gonna invoke here. So then we call Webpack and we put in this configuration, which doesn't look like a ton, right? Mode production, entry file. Okay, so we globbed, so we have a bunch of files, and then we start with a particular file for some reason. Okay, so for some reason I did this recursively because I had some issue and I thought, oh, recursively will just make sense. I don't know that it really made any sense, but that's the way I did it. Okay, so we have to have whatever files that they are. So let's just write a short file then, so we can kind of get started. What was it I said? Const sum long sentence equals a console log sum long sentence. Huh? and we'll call this basic file JS, I don't know. And then we'll try webpacking that. Okay, so let's just see how well this works. Webpack. Okay, so we've got a webpack. Then I'm going to use the configuration. So what did I do? So when I called this, I passed in the callback. And then kind of a lot happens, it seems like. I mean, we have to do error handling. Okay. If we don't have an error, then we do this. And we look for another error. Stats.has errors, stats.has warnings. So then, interesting. So then we actually have to read the file because okay, so the dist file is produced by Webpack. Okay, let's see if we can produce that dist file. I'll use this configuration. Control C, Control V. Okay, mode production, entry. Entry will not be entry file. It will be I don't know. Let's see. Webpack. And I'm not even going to call it I'm not even going to pass it a callback. I'm just going to let it do its thing, and let's see if we get the file. Uh-oh, output file is not defined. Okay, what did I use for output file here? Dist. Okay, I'm just going to say output file equals bundled basic file JS. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so it says it did something. But I don't see the file. Damn. So we probably got an error then, is what it means. Okay, so let's give it an error handler. That's cool. So we'll use that output file. We'll use this entry file. We'll use this webpack. We will pass this. Okay, so this time we'll pass an error handler. Error comes first, right? Oops. Oh, no, it doesn't say there's an error. It says null. But we didn't get it generated, I don't think. Okay. So, I mean, when we glob these, I don't know if they're just going to be file names. It says files. Let's add something here. Let's see, dist file is something like this. Replace user.js by meta.js. Okay, because there's a concept of a meta file in user scripts, which I haven't messed with in ages. But the meta file has just metadata about the user script. Okay. I want this to be so simple, but I'm looking at what I did before, and I mean, there's not a ton here, but it wasn't simple for me to know what to do when I did this. I want it to be so easy. Okay. So if we do this, so we don't get an error, um, what will we get? These must be the stats, right? Kind of a lot of them, so we're gonna have to look for what we're actually looking for. I don't see warnings. Errors can't resolve basic file.js. Did you mean? Okay. Cool. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So that looks like a good. Okay, so what's it say now? No errors, no warnings. So if there's no errors, no warnings, I guess that means it wrote our output file. Let's take a look. Oh, it's in dist. Yep, there it is. And okay, so all right, they flattened it for us in a beautiful way. I love it. That works. Okay, so that's the basics of Webpack. How much time did I just spend on that? A lot, it seems like. Maybe not that much. Okay, so now we're going to kind of put this wisdom into a file to get us started. There goes my timer. 5 minutes. All right, cool. So okay, yeah. So what did I call my file before? Bundle build.js. Okay, let's create bundle build.js. Whoops, I put it in dist. Yes, move. Okay, so we'll do exactly what we did before. So webpack. And then we'll pass in the configuration. Let me just go back to notes so I can copy these. Okay, so let's copy all of that if we can. So trying to console log all that is probably too much. And we're not going to do anything with whatever comes out of that. All right, so that's really kind of all we need to start. look at my package JSON. Star.user.js. Let me just see. In this case, I did star whatever JS. Okay, that's fine. Did it know not to do node modules though? Let's just do this. Webpack should be listed in project's dependencies, not dev dependencies. Expected console. Okay. So we've got these here. I mean, I don't know. All right. So now let's go ahead and bundle our actual files. So we've got this one. So we'll save this as show more items, user.js, and we'll do this one. No hot network questions, user.js. And save. All right. So then we'll do a function that is like, I don't know, insert CSS. Insert CSS takes the CSS, right? So that's kind of what we need to start there. It's simple, but it'll kind of illustrate the point. So we'll call this insert CSS.js. This is to illustrate the point that we can sort of bundle and do user scripts that way. All right, so then this one, we're going to say I think, let's see, I did export, so we should do import here, I think. Oh, okay, so that filled in, nice. And so then the whole thing becomes insert CSS, and we just pass it in, right? So simplifies it because that other stuff is now in the other file. Cool. So that's kind of like what we want. So now the question is, can we bundle it, right? Because here's the thing, we need this information. The Chrome extension TamperMonkey is going to read this, right? So that's kind of why I did Webpack the way I did, is because I wanted in the same file to be like, oh, hey, we're going to look at this, and we're going to insert that onto the file, basically. For now, though, let's just see if it will bundle this much. Okay, so we'll say, and this is like, you can see, like, when I did it before, I globbed to get the files that I was looking for. This time, I'm not necessarily doing it that way yet. That might be a refactor, all right? So then it'll be no hot network questions, user.js. Bundled questions, user.js. Man. Yeah, fun. So that's good. I don't know, something like that. So then we'll kind of do that. I mean, I don't know that we even want to console log anything right now. I'll just put those in there as placeholders because we might need to, certainly we might need to interact with these. For now, I'll leave it alone. So, then in our package, I don't know what we're going to get. So it ran, it didn't console log anything, and in our dist, what do we have now? We have this bundled. Okay. Let's totally put that into our, this guy. So I'm going to kind of create a new one, just so we can test this out. I guess this was pretty simple. I mean, it's pretty simple once I cheated and looked at my old repo. Okay, so now instead of this, I'm going to put the bundled version, and we'll just make sure it works. All right, so there's not much there. It says unexpected use of comma operator, but I'm not going to worry about that. So this will be saved as, well, it says no hot network questions, but let's make sure that we change the name. Bundled. All right. So save that. And now, if we go to one of these sites, we were just on Stack Overflow, right? Okay. So let's disable both. Okay, so here it is. We see these hot network questions. It's like, what are these? These have nothing to do with anything, right? So we get rid of them using the bundled version. And they're gone. Okay. So that much works. I think I want to change gears actually at this point. Okay, let me sit back a sec. All right, so that was the bundle thing. There's definitely kind of a lot more that can kind of go into that, but that's the basic starting point of bundling. So then we can totally reuse this little function in the other one as well. That doesn't seem super interesting right now though, so I kind of want to change gears and do something else, but I want to take a quick break first. Let me check my phone. Just want to make sure that the stream looks okay here again. Tap to unmute. Let me check my phone. Yeah, that sounds fine. Just want to make sure that the stream looks okay here again. Looks fine by me. Fine by me. Okay. So, I don't know, and I could question like why is it good to use Webpack this way rather than using it from the CLI? And honestly, using it from the CLI for this might honestly be better, and it would be like you would just run the Webpack command and then you would run some script afterwards to do the processing. If we look in my old repo, I don't know. I just thought it made sense to me to do it the way I did it, but I don't know if it really did. Dang, that text is tiny. So, like, once, when we do each file, like, once we're done packing it, we do this, and that's cool. And then here's the thing. So we look for the user script header, right? So then we read that in, and then we split it on this delimiter. So I don't know, I use the split. So the split splits it, and then, but it takes the delimiter itself out, so I just add it back in. Then in the dist file, we just add that to the file content there. I mean, it's really straightforward. And totally, we could easily just do this part in its own script and just run that script after using Webpack from the command line. Maybe that'd make more sense. I guess this way of doing it is also fine. I don't know. What is info supposed to be here? Where's info? Info is stats2JSON. Okay, fair enough. So yes, that's how I did it. Oh man. Oh man. Callback hell, really. Like each one of these taking a callback. That's legit callback hell. I could have used async fs and totally avoided that callback hell. That's not what I did. All right. I do gotta stand up for a sec and walk. And I'll be right back and decide what to work on next. All right. I'm going to come back to the site from earlier today because I've messed around on this site quite a bit. It's a pretty silly site, but I've messed around on this site quite a bit without doing many user scripts, doing very few user scripts. So I did one earlier. So let's take a look at some aspects. So I just created this account. So if you go here, it will say, do you have any bots? So we can create a bot. And I guess it'll be just something simple. Who doesn't know how Webpack works and gets confused when he sees binary. Yes, of course. That's it, baby. Pete the Pixelated. So it kind of generates this. I'm just going to go ahead and go through it. Overuse emojis. Oh, and they even got the hoodie? Damn. Well, yup. Yeah, yeah. That's it. That's it. Oh, too much beard. Let's just say, his beard is very thin / non-existent. There we go. Dang, yep, they got me. They nailed me. I am a cliche. That is fine. All right. I thought it did it pretty fast a second ago. Okay, so I mentioned beard and it made it thicker. It didn't make it thinner. So let's just say I don't care. It's fine. I'll we select one of these. Okay. Sure, I don't know. They're all pretty similar. Sure, this is fine. So here's the thing. So when you create this, you can do this thing of add a story, all right? So let's see what happens. We're going to just watch what happens when you add a story. Pete the Pixelated just biffed it trying to use a mutation observer on a React app. Crash. Oh. All right, so when we add this, let's see what we get here. So generate memory, right? So I haven't done this, but here's the thing. I think you can probably generate memories. So we just used that in the UI, and it just sent like this generate memory request, right? So it just has this context in it, right? So it seems pretty simple. Bot ID, context. So what you can do is you can just copy this as fetch. All right, and let's see what we got. So if we run this again, we can sort of like generate it again. So all we have is this body, which just has this short JSON in it. We just generate the memory, right? So it's pretty simple. We have an authorization here, which presumably, I guess we probably need. Before I do anything else, I kind of want to try it without the authorization. Here, let me just make sure I've got what we've got here, so we don't have to find it again. So here's our fetch. It might be, if it'll let us do it without the authorization, I don't know if it would, but if it will, then that might actually make it simpler for us. Now, I have noticed that if you have this credentials header, it usually won't work, it seems like, so. Let's also say, let's define our object here. So rec body equals context, and then we'll have whatever, and then bot ID, right? And then we'll have the number there. And then when we do this, we'll just say that we'll just serialize that, right? Okay, so method post, mode cores, and we have a refresh token as well. I am not sure about that. I'm tempted to just eliminate that as well, because if it'll work without it, it'll make things simpler for us. I doubt that it'll work without these things, but that's kind of the way I want to try it first. So then, the idea here is to see if we can create the story. So like mutation mischief, it says, and then we'll look at this after, but basically you can just hit plus generate new post, and then it'll generate something that's about whatever the topic was. It's pretty cool. I mean, spent way too much time on the site. So let's see. Let's just find some other bot. Okay, so Poyo Kirby. So, I mean, if we're kind of messing with some random person's bot, I don't know. They might be annoyed. So this is this a little questionable? I don't know. So here's one from 5 days ago. Fisher Carpenter Adventures. They've got one pretty recent. Let's see, who are their followers? Retro Circus, private. Maybe we can look at private ones if we figure something out. Kevin the Minion, airport news. Okay, let's take a look at airport news. So there's one from 2 days ago. one from 6 days ago, one from a week ago. So they're doing, looks like maybe 2 or 3 per week. So they're not being actively used, I think. So basically then what we would do is just find the ID for the airport news, right? Which of course is pretty simple. Just look for it here somewhere. I'd just go by size. It's probably one of the larger responses that we got. Profiles, preview, and here's a bot ID. Now you'll notice there's also a profile ID that's different. As I recall, the bot ID is actually the one that I want, but to check that, we just remember in here, we use this ID, 18666, oh nice. And so we just check this guy to make sure that we know which one that is for him. Let me just clear this, and we'll refresh there. Go by size again, and preview, and we see that yes, the bot ID is 18666. Okay. So for this one, what was it? This is the airport news. It's 12983, right? Okay. So let me go back here. Okay, so we've still got this. So now I'm going to put this bot ID, and I'm just going to see, I mean, I don't necessarily expect this to work, but it'd be kind of interesting if it did. And I'm just going to say, in recent airport news, it turns out that the airport was hacked by losers. I don't know. Okay, so like if we send this, like do we actually expect it to work? Probably not. If it did, wouldn't that be goofy though? Unexpected string, oh. By losers. Oh, I missed a comma. Jeez. Did I miss another one? Yeah. Why did I do that? I don't know. Okay, so we sent something. It says something was blocked, but that's not ours. Let's see what happened with ours. Okay, so we went generate memory. It just said okay. So I guess that's good. So if it legit generated that memory, then we should also be able to generate a post. So that would be the next step. So I didn't copy it when we did this guy, but let's just do him again. So I'm going to clear this, and we're just going to hit this again so that we can copy what goes out over the network when we do this. So it's generate post, and we just have an ID there. So again, we can totally copy this as fetch. Let's see what information is here. Okay, so if none match, I don't know what that is. So you notice we don't have those tokens that we had before. It says credentials omit, so I guess that makes sense. I'm going to leave that part off though. And then this ID is just going to be that ID that we used before. What was it again? Whoops. So 12983 was the ID. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in here. And I mean, that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to send that. Let's see what it says. Generate post 12983. And it says queued. So if we wait like a minute, then it'll be the moment of truth, and we'll see, did we actually create the post for Michael Bollocks's airport news? Which, you know, he's gonna be like, what the hell happened? But I mean, if he even checks on it. But yeah, so I mean, the site definitely shouldn't be allowing you to do this, but I actually already do feel bad, so I'm not gonna make this into a user script. I've decided. Let's see if so. Yeah, we did. So we created the hacker storyline, and here it is: breaking news: airport Wi-Fi turned hacker playground. Slide down their ego. What the hell? What does that mean? Turned hacker. Oh, okay, hacker playground. So a slide on a play. It doesn't sound very coherent, but whatever. Okay, so here's me. Mondays feel like trying to debug JavaScript with a magic 8-ball. Labels swapped for Webpack error messages. Binary baffled. Who needs semicolons anyway? Well, he looks kind of happy about it, so there we go. He's certainly much better looking than me. My goodness. That beard is luscious. And that hair, incredible. And then we have tried teaching an old div some new tricks with Mutation Observer, ended up playing fetch with my sanity instead. Looks like your attempt to control the elements has backfired, Pete. Perhaps you should stick to programming and leave the dark arts to the... Okay. That's funny. Very nice. And then this one says, if mutation observers are so smart, why can't they prevent me from breaking my code asking for a friend? All right, nice. So basically, yeah, I'm not even going to make a script out of this, but basically what we've observed is that, like, yeah, you can totally create a post for somebody else's bot, so not ideal. Let's just close out of this and think about something else. Let's go to something else. Let's go to something completely different. Let's go... Oh, here's something. So somebody was saying earlier, maybe we should try, instead of sort of like decoding ASCII binary, what if we turn things into ASCII binary? And that's an okay, interesting idea. So let's try that. Let's do that next. Let me take a second and add something. Let's see. It didn't say added, but I see that it's added. Okay. Being cool, being cool. All right. So, I mean, turning some random text into binary is not very complicated, but it might illustrate some things that might be a little interesting. So if we want to do this, basically, we're gonna be like, whatever we click, we want to turn it into sort of like ASCII binary, basically. So if we look at like this free binary translator, whatever we put into here, we want to be the same thing that we just encoded, basically. So let's take a look. So if we inspect here, for example, document.add event listener, click, and whatever the target is, let's just say target text content equals text content. So let's like spread this, all right, so that we can map it and these are going to be characters, so I'm just going to say C. So we're going to spread the string. Each character, we are going to say number parse, or actually, wait. Let's see. It's char code. We want to get the char code, so we're going to say string dot code. What is it? Oh, it's c dot code point. So if we have a character, we can say char code at 0. So that's what it's going to be. Char code at 0. And then we just go to string and we put in the radix. So let's see how that's going to look again. So if we do this, we go to string and we put in the radix and it becomes this binary. This one, interesting. Okay, so we also notice it didn't put all 8 characters there. So we do have to actually like pad that. So, so we have a string. I'm trying to remember what our pad is. Pad start. Max length 8. Fill string 0. Okay, so there we go. All right. So that's what we'll do. And then toString binary pad start. Falling off there. Pad start 8 0. And then so that's how we map it, and then we just join with spaces. And I guess that's it. Okay, so when we add that, now we're going to try it out on something. So if we click here, it turns into a binary. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this, except it turned into more binary. I saw that coming. Okay. Let's just go ahead and remove the event listener as soon as we've done that. So this is going to be called binarizer event listener equals. Right? And then we'll go except that in this event listener itself, we want to actually remove the event listener. So I guess we can just do that. It's not a problem. Yeah, that's not a problem. We can do that. I mean, if it's a problem, we'll know soon. Okay, click binarizer event listener, and it's falling off the side again. Okay, so let me just copy that. So we'll do that. Okay. Let me go ahead and reload this, paste this, and let's say we grab this. Okay, so now it removed the event listener. Good. So we take what we've got here and paste that into here. Where's my binary? This guy? Paste that into here. It's clean in that you don't have to write a file to disk, but the internals of it are a little messy because I had to get into how Webpack's cached input file system works. Well, I count myself fortunate that I never had to get into that. Okay, so cool. So that works fine. I mean, it's simple, like I said. And the guy who suggested it this morning was like, yeah, it'll be like a 10-minute thing. I think I've already spent more than 10 minutes on it because I'm slow. But I don't know how much time I've spent on it. Probably more than 10 minutes, though. If I watched the clock... Oh, I don't even have the timer running. Let's start the timer running again. If I watched the clock, I'd know. Alright, so yeah, pretty slow on everything. So obviously, like, it's simple to just turn things to binary. So I guess the way I would do this as a user script, let's create one. Okay, so for this one we want to match like literally every site. So like it literally doesn't matter what it is. Is that how we match every site? I'm just gonna go ahead and check in here. Where's mine? Let's see, which one of these matches every site? I think this one does. No, it's gonna be bundled. Okay, so I match all these sites, but not literally every site. Not sure why. Does this one match every site? No. Does this one? No. I matched matched each of the specific sites that I tested it on. It could have matched every site, presumably. But I guess I didn't want to do that. Log element. So this is how I matched every site. Yeah, let's do it the same way. Okay. I'll put my name on it. Quickly turn to binary. Binarizer. Okay, so the function name will be binarizer. So for this one, I'm gonna say, let's press the B key. So document add event listener. And so this is for key down. We'll get the code. There we go. And there'll be another one similarly for key up. And then, so when that key is down, so if code is key B, and I'm going to check these. Here, let's check this right now. I probably should know this. I guess I kind of do know this by now. Here, let's do that. So if we click somewhere, or if we just press keys, then we see key F, key S, key Y, key J. All right, so those are key down events. All right, so if the code is key B, then I don't really like this editor. Add event listener, click, and it will be called binarizer handler. And same thing here. If code is key B, then we remove that. And so then the binarizer handler just gets defined here. It takes a target, and then it's just the same thing that we had done a second ago, this. So yeah, whatever we did here, we're going to do again. Right? Easy peasy. All right, so just make that look a little nicer. Okay, so I called it binarizer handler. It's cool either way, probably. And then I'll just do that. So yeah, so we remove the event listener after having clicked. And so that's supposed to match everything. So I'm not convinced that it's ready yet, but let's try some site. Okay, so first of all, let's see if it matched. Okay, so it says it's running. So if we do this, it changes to binary. Okay, makes sense. And then if we put it back into free, welcome to Wikipedia. Honestly, I think I'm pretty well convinced, and we can do it again and again. So, I mean, one thing I definitely do notice, of course, is the fact that like we get rid of other so we get rid of other elements that are within the element that we clicked on, right? So that's not good. Also, if we want to do a link element, then it's actually going to take us to the link because we didn't ignore the default or whatever. So it briefly flashed up the binary, but it took us to the link. I don't remember it. Oh man, I'm so rusty. MDN event ignore default. Prevent default. That's what it is. So we have to prevent the default when we do that. So let's update it first of all to prevent the default. So yeah, so we'll take an event prevent default, and then target okay. All right, let's go back and try that again. Okay, so this time we expect that we should be able to turn this into binary without going into the Paris Agreement. Okay, and it's still a link that links us to the Paris Agreement. Okay. And we can do that whenever. All right, so then the next thing, yeah, the next thing I would change would be that if I have something like this, so if we look at this, we can see there's an A element here. There's, I guess, an I element, maybe. Let's take a look. So it's a list item. There's a B element in there. Whoops. So there's a B element in there, which contains an A element. There's an I element. So one thing that would make way more sense would be when we convert to binary, like if we click here and we're like, let's convert to binary, we want to keep this A, and we want to keep this b, and we want to keep this I, like if I do it right now, it's going to completely get rid of those, right? They're all gone, and it's just the text now. So, yeah, we could totally update it to be like, to kind of recursively convert each element that is within there. Obviously, it makes it a bit more complicated, but not that bad. Let's go ahead and do it. So we do this thing at target.textContent, but we're totally not going to do that. Instead, we are going to go target child nodes. This is very similar to what I did on the other one, but this is kind of more general. More generally applicable, I guess, equals target child nodes. Let me just make sure that that is a thing. So if we look at this, so we've got a P here, and child nodes. Okay, so it's got a bunch of nodes, a B, a text, an A, a text, all right? And we can like filter that to get just the text nodes if we want. We go e.node name equals hashtag text, right? And so then we get just the texts, and we can get just the non-texts. I did this earlier. So as we go through the child nodes, we're going to check each one to see if it's text or not. If it's not text, we recursively go in and process that one. If it is text, we just convert it to binary. All right. So we start by getting these child nodes, and then we go target child nodes for each. And then we're going to need a function to kind of like process these things. So let's just define the function right here. So const target, or let's just call it child node processor. That's not a very good name. I'm going to call it binarizer. I don't know if that's better. Function child node binarizer. Put another song on. All right. So it'll be a function. It will take child nodes. And so we'll go child nodes for each node. And then we're going to say if node name is text, let's see. So we're trying to kind of like recreate the tree, I think. I should probably do a small diagram. We're going to be, let's see. If we want to be able to undo, then we don't want to modify the nodes themselves. I guess what we want to do is create a new set of child nodes. Or a new list of child nodes, not a set. So in this case, we will add a new text node that will contain the binarized text content, right? And that'll be this. Man, this editor is nasty. Okay, let's switch over to the other editor. What is this? All right. Yeah, okay. Okay, good. So we won't do this. This, like, I don't know. Let's make that into a function so it's not so nasty. Make text binary. Which takes a text. Okay, so let's do it that way, and then, so that's good, and then else, so here, let's see, so we did this. So we're gonna take the node.tag name, I believe. Tag name. So we can create element from that tag name. So we get a fresh node, all right? Fresh node equals document.create element node.tag name, all right? And then let's make this return the new child nodes, all right? Fresh child nodes equals child node binarizer. So this way we work through the tree recursively. So it should work fine. All right. So we'll pass in the node child nodes. And then we'll add those to the fresh node. Fresh node append child something like that, I guess. So if it's text, then we'll add a new text by making this text binary. If it is not text, then we will create a fresh node. We will recursively process its children, and then we will put the new process children on there, and then we will put the fresh node into the new child nodes, right? Okay, so pretty simple, I guess. So that's what we're going to do. So that way, the idea being that we don't want to get rid of all of the nodes that we had the way we do, like, so this one has this, like, what is this? It's a A with a code in it, but if we use the binary thing, this A with a code in it will go away, right? So we don't want that. So that's why we're doing it this way. And then the other thing is this gives us the opportunity to also undo the same way we did on the one this morning. So for that, we say target, and then we just set an attribute on it, target child nodes. Okay, so then if we want to undo, then we say, well, we'll add an undo handler. And similarly down here, we will remove it. Okay, and then we'll just define that undo handler. Which takes a target. We do also need to prevent default on this. Const target if target child nodes, and then we'll do exactly what we did before. So this is an opportunity again for code reuse. So we could put this into a separate file. I'm not going to do it this second, but that's something. Here, let's put a comment. This is basically what I had in the binary bot. Opportunity for code reuse. Let's put that as a to-do, I think. But I'm not going to do it right this minute. So in this case, we'll say target inner HTML is blanked out, and then target child nodes for each node. Target append child node. So we just add them all back in one by one. So that one is nice and simple. Okay. So we have the undo handler. One thing I didn't do in the other one that let's do in this one is let's also get rid of the target child nodes after we've done this, because we don't need them at that point. So we'll undefine that. Or actually, is the proper way to do it by delete? Oh, shoot. I actually don't know. Let me see. Delete JavaScript. Removes a property from an object. I think this is the proper way to do it, actually. Rather than setting it undefined. I was like, undefined? That seems like a smell. Yeah, no, this makes more sense. Okay. So we'll delete the target child nodes after we've done that. Okay, that seems good. So I haven't invoked this yet, except for recursively. I don't know if I should expect this to work. Let me change the music again. What do we want? Okay. So the child node binarizer. Okay, so we have the child nodes. We have this. So when we have, okay, there's, So there's one problem. There's probably more than one problem. There's one problem. So these new child nodes need to actually recursively be put onto the node that they belong to. So we did it here. Okay, so okay, this is fine actually, I guess. Let me look through this. So child node binarizer. I'm looking at this. I feel like it should be passed a node rather than passing it the child nodes. Right? I feel like this makes more sense. So that, oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Because we already append these fresh child nodes to the fresh node. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do it this way. Okay. So then we are gonna say target. We're gonna blank this out the way we did in the undo. And we're gonna say child node binarizer target child nodes for each node target.append child. So that's really what it is. This seems crazy. So obviously it was very simple at first. There's not a ton here. I don't think much of this is very complicated. I think I'm just super rusty. So I'm not confident that this will work. But let's see. It's pretty similar to what I did this morning. So that should give me some kind of confidence. Maybe. All right, where do we want to go? Here, maybe. So I'm gonna make a new user script for this one. Because the old binarizer was fine, but let's just call this new one binarizer with undo. Okay. Binarizer with undo. Okay. So here we are, Wikipedia. We're gonna turn on, we can't use both of these. So we gotta turn one of them off. And the binarizer with undo is strictly better than the plain binarizer. All right. So first of all, let's see if we can still turn this to, I don't know. Okay, it disappeared. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Did we get anything in the console? No. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Oh, sure, save that. But we're working on this one. Let me close this and this. I'm going to close all of these actually. Okay. I wonder if we had a problem similar to what we had before. So let's, when we get to this point, let's console log. This is saved, right? Okay, so this is saved. Reload here. Got this open. Okay, gonna try to do something. So it disappeared. Nothing. Nothing. Oh no. Let's... No. Okay. We got nothing there. Dang, really? I'm almost certain we should have. Oh no, wait. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, duh. Shoot. No? No, I don't see the problem yet. For a second I was like, oh, did I do this? Like, no, we saved these previously. Okay. So nothing got passed in. Why? Oh no. Oh no. I think I know why. It's because we didn't spread this. Uh, yeah. Okay, no, it still is no good. We also are going to need to spread it whenever we do this. I think I definitely am going to need a brain break. What's this show? When that goes off, I'll take a brain break. Because holy crap, I'm not doing well. Okay, are we going to get anything to the console? No. I don't think I did a console log, did I? Okay, so there is a text node here. Is there anything? Okay, yeah. So that's what we wanted. Um, so it's okay here. All right, so then we do this. Interesting. I don't think it's that interesting. I think it's just me screwing up in ridiculous, ridiculous ways. So I see text content contralto. So we have it here. And what's here? Nothing. Okay, well, there we go. So it's this that didn't work. So we said make text binary node.textContent, which should have said, in this case, contralto. And so I screwed this up somewhere probably very simple, but let's see. It doesn't return it. Okay. And it took me a while to spot that, didn't it? Oh my gosh. Crazy. Crazy. You know what? We should use TypeScript. That's exactly the kind of boneheaded mistake that TypeScript is made to help you with, right? All right, we'll consider it. We'll consider it. Maybe not today, but maybe at some point. Man, I've been at it a while. Goodness gracious. Okay, that should improve it. Let's see. So that turns to binary now, and I can turn it back. So that's good. Now, look at this one. So this one has some italicized. Check that out. So these are italicized. I think it's actually working. I want to commit this. This is actually working. So let me get rid of these console logs. These are not required right now. And I'm gonna take a break after this. You know, at least I've got something working, I guess. I don't know. There are some techniques here that are, I guess, you know, applicable to different things, right? Like we're kind of, you know, doing some DOM manipulation in a way that might be like kind of broadly applicable to different situations where you might do DOM manipulation. I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at our Git status. Okay, let's see. So dist, I do not necessarily need. So we'll leave dist out. Package lock is good. Basic file, binarizer, bundle build, insert CSS. Yeah. Commit, and the message will be finish the general binary binarizer with undo. And the thing is, like, another thing about that is we can do probably quite a few different manipulations. Like, turning it to binary is, like, kind of cool. I notice I turned it to binary twice, and now I'm not able to undo anymore. So that's something to fix, probably. Like, just turning things to binary... Oh, look. Some of these ended up without a space. There should have been spaces there, I'm pretty sure. So, okay, so there's still some things even with this one. But like also like we can use this as a general process for like turning it to binary is kind of fun, but we could do other things like we can turn it to rainbow text, we can turn it to Zalgo text, we can you know, I've done a few different things. We can turn it to a few different things. We can make it animated and be able to undo. There are different things we could do using some of the same processes. All right, I am gonna step away for like 2 to 5 minutes. All right. Let's see what else we want to be looking at here. So let me see here. Okay, so this works. Oops. Yeah, but again, so I did that, but I'm not going to be able to undo. We could look at like other sites and see if it still works on other sites. So like this one. So that keeps the formatting, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, I like that. We can do it there. Okay, so that turns wild. What the heck? But we can probably, hopefully, still undo. No. No, maybe that's not possible in this case. Okay, that's interesting. So that's a case that might be interesting to look into. Interesting. So this one, it should prevent default, but it still is popping up this modal. Because presumably that's not a default action. It's probably something being done with an event listener, not a default. Actually, yeah. Yeah, we can definitely try some other things. Highway collapse. Since I was talking about doing like different effects, maybe this would be a good time to try a different effect. I'm almost hesitant to get into another effect right now. At one point I did several effects, like if we go back to my GitHub. At one point I did like several different text effects. Let's see what I did. There was a wave. I mean, it might be worthwhile to take a look at some of these. So here, so this is bundled from several of these different other files that all export different functions, right? And so the rainbowify is just sort of composed from these. And presumably, if we look into my gists, the actual... Do I know how to get into gists? If we put gist at the front, is that how you find it? Okay, yeah. So a lot of these are from ages ago. You can see 2 years ago. Let's just try one of these just to get an idea. So these ones worked pretty differently. They were based on like actually sort of highlighting, which I think was kind of cool. Let's look at Waveify. Let's see, so these are the meta files. Where are the actual user scripts? It says it's user.js. This one says it's a meta. Oh, the user script is here. Okay, so if we click, so here's another thing about TamperMonkey. If we click the raw here on gists, then TamperMonkey will prompt us to ask if we want to install the script. See, like this. And then you just hit install, and then it's just added. And then if we go into the dashboard, here it is. So let me just, at that time I was doing these matches, but let's just do the general match. The same way I did in the binarizer. Just match whatever, because this presumably could be used like wherever. Probably. So we'll get rid of these other matches and just save that. And then if we come here, okay, so this one, the way it works is I didn't use a key, I used a button here. So there's a button, and so you select it. So now it's grayed out because we're ready to Waveify. And then you just have to kind of click, and you see as soon as I clicked and held, it got rid of all of the elements in there, right? Because this was kind of sloppily done, quite frankly. But once we do it, we get this animated effect. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Clearly it needed more work, like the fact that it got rid of those other elements is not cool. What it does is, of course, like you can probably guess, it puts each letter into its own little span and then just puts a CSS animation on all of them. So let's just take a look at what that's like. Committee of inquiry. Wait, am I in the right place? Okay, so span class wave text, and then I put my name on it. And so then it's all these, and then they all have different animation delays. So I mean, you know, it works. It's definitely not good, because the worst thing I think is the fact that it gets rid of all of the other elements that are within the element that you chose originally, so that's obviously really bad. I mean, I think the effect itself is cool enough. The other thing I would say about it is there's no undo, and an undo would be nice. But yeah. Actually, one of these others might be a newer version, like... There's one that's just like text effect, I think. Probably there is, right? Or is maybe there's not. I think there's one that's just a text effect one, and it includes several text effects. And that is probably the one that I started using more. And that one might be a bit better. So here's text effect. So here it is. So let's install this one and just see what it's like. Apparently I was using it on nih.gov. Yeah, in those days I think I wasn't so mentally slow. But maybe that's just a misperception on my part. Either way, I'm sure as hell mentally slow now. Okay, I'm just going to turn these ones off and turn this one on. Get rid of those other matches. And, I mean, there's relatively more here. It's supposed to do a bunch of effects. It's got all these Zalgo characters and different things. So it's got a few different things going on. Let's try it here. Okay, so we have... Oh, okay, yeah, you know what? This is cool. I'm happy about this. So I think whichever one we choose, there's not going to be undo, and they're all going to have the same issue where they get rid of all the elements that are in the parent element. And one thing that is nice is that they let you highlight. Now, it's not actually based on highlighting. It's actually based on like wherever you first click to wherever you mouse up. It's fine. So let's just see what each one looks like. So rainbow. So we'll do rainbow in here. Okay. So, I mean, it looks rainbowy. Fine by me. Sarcastify. So I think it's just every other letter capitalization or something like that. So that's cool. Waveify. This is the same one we saw, I think. And you can do it over like several different lines, of course. I did it only on one line at first, but we can do the whole thing. So that's kind of different looking. Let's do Zalgo. I mean, this is a common one. This one's relatively simple because it just adds in some characters and things. So they all turn like this. That's fine. Zany? Hold on. I'm trying to think if I remember what zany is even supposed to be. I think it just makes them all like tilted at random angles. So let's take a look. Committee of Inquiry. Okay, so that didn't work because I moused up after I was off the thing. But yeah, so they kind of random angles. Yeah, I guess it's zany. And then fidgetify, they're all just going to sort of wiggle. So we can kind of do the whole thing, and they all wiggle at sort of random intervals. Right? So every single letter wiggles, but they wiggle different amounts and at different times. And that's fidgetify. I guess they're not... Wiggle maybe isn't the word, they just each rotate. Like fidget spinners, I guess? I don't know. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So, I mean... We could... So... Obviously, I did this in a very different way compared to how I did the binary one. I like the way the binary one is. I like the fact that the binary one doesn't put buttons here. The buttons are cool too. It's a cool way to do it either way, I guess. But I prefer just holding a key, I think. Also, I like that the main thing I like about the binary one is that it doesn't get rid of the elements that are in there. But, I mean, we saw that I struggled to make it work that way. But, you know, it does, it does. If I were to look at... I want to see if I've got some other ones in here. Let me go find my gists again. So, I think I have one that's just delete element, and I think that's kind of useful. Text effect. This one is kind of odd. It's it's a SVG filter effect. Sure, let's try it. So it'll match whatever. So sure, let's install it. So now it's a, I don't know if it's sketch. It's meant to be sort of a sketch-like effect, basically, and it looks like this. And it'll work on different things, so. And then you just turn it off right here. Turn both those off. So I'm generally pretty cool with that. So now I gotta think what to do next. One of those effects, maybe. One of those effects maybe using the, like, the new technique that I used with the binary thing, which I think works better. Could do more with Webpack, because I obviously didn't finish with that. Hmm. And then other things I've been thinking are, like, I don't want to just stick to user scripts and crap. Like, I ought to get to actual projects, and so maybe it's time to look into getting into, like, an actual project if I can. Why configuration is so complicated? Oh, it's a podcast episode? Man. Okay, so I'm gonna close that, close this. We looked at that. I mean, this is a CSS filter. So, I mean, I did come up with, like, these different steps based on having futzed around a lot with GIMP. So, I mean, this is, I'm sort of happy that this is sort of original to me in a way. It's based on things that I found in GIMP before. So not really that original. So sure, we can save this. Let's see what would be fun. Or I'm trying to think. Oh, I was kind of annoyed at the butterfly thing. Like, so obviously what I did there with the airport or whatever. So the airport news, like, that could be made into a script. It's just weird. Like, they shouldn't. It's a just for fun website, of course, developed by probably just one person. I'm not exactly sure, but, like, they obviously should not let you post whatever you want to somebody else's bot. That's silly, but they do with very little effort. But I'm not gonna screw around anymore. Man, that airplane came out so bad. What the heck? That's crazy. Ah, wow, okay. It's cool. Like, I think the images mostly come out really cool looking. I mean, most of them do have weirdness, like most AI art does, but most of them look pretty cool, I think. Anyway, let's look into something else. So another thing I've done quite a bit is, like, if you're on Wikipedia and you go to some article and you look at the categories, like, so the category is true frogs, and there's 24. But what if you go to a bigger category, like true frog stubs, right? So it says the following 200 are in this category out of approximately 203 total. And I'm not sure if there's an option here to show more than 200. As far as I know, there might not be an option like that. So I can show, how to get around that using a user script, because it's obviously pretty simple, right? You just get whatever the next page is and you stick it into here. But I think there are some kind of interesting principles there. It's simple, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it easily because my brain is so dumb these days, but whatever. Let's just try it. So let's create a new script. This is going to be for whatever category on this site. And this is one that I have done before, but as I'm thinking about it, I kind of do want to do it again to see if I even know how anymore. So show all category pages. Get all the category pages and show them on, well, let's say all the following category pages. Page you're at. Okay, so this is going to be called show all category pages, all right? So the first step is we're going to find the link to the next category page, all right? So let's see what that says. So it's a link that says next page, easy to find, right? And it just says next page. So is that what we want to find it by, the text next page? I think that's probably a fine way to find it. I tend to use like a different kind of selector. Like you can see it says page from the way they're paginated. So if we look for an A where the href contains page from, then it's going to be next page here, and it's going to be next page here. So, I mean, that's one way, like, rather than having to get the text, which you don't necessarily get right away in a CSS selector. If you use like an XPath, then you can get it from the text directly. In this case, though, we can see that wherever it has page from, that's going to the next page. So I think that's how I'm going to do it. Either one is fine, the one at the top or the one at the bottom. So we'll start by getting that. And then what we want to do is basically fetch whatever that's linking to, right? So we'll fetch the href there, right? So then when we fetch that, we want to be sure that we get, whatever came out of it. So we'll say then, and we'll get the text, because we're getting the text because this is going to come back not as JSON, but as an HTML page. Now, actually, if we look at MDN, fetch response, So the response has a body, Boolean that declares whether the body has been used in a response yet. Okay, headers, okay, redirected status, status text, type URL, error redirect JSON. So we can use this to turn it to JSON. Oh, maybe it doesn't have a text method. Oh wait, yes it does, right here, text. You could also do a form data representation. I don't think I've ever actually done that. That's cool. I don't think I've ever actually done the form data here. Pretty sure we want text because we don't have anything better or more specific. We have static methods. We have instance methods. We can do an array buffer representation, a blob representation. We can clone it. We can do a form data representation, JSON representation, or text representation. So we want text. So let me find that again. Okay, so we'll get the text, and then the question is, what are we going to do with the text? All right. So before we fetch, let's have a way to actually like parse the HTML that we get back. Surprise, surprise. So we'll say parser, let's say parser equals new DOM parser. And we don't have to pass the constructor anything. I don't even know if it takes anything. It doesn't say it does. But we want a parser, and then the parser just has a parse method, parse from string, and you pass in the string and the type. So the string, when we do this, is going to be the text that we got, all right? So parser parse from string, we pass in the text that we got, and then the type is going to be text HTML, I think, pretty sure. Just look that up. I don't need to look that up. It's text HTML. These are not even about that. It's a MIME type. Anyway, type slash subtype, and the one that we want is text slash HTML. Very common. Anyway, let's totally do that. We're on here. Okay, so when we parse it, what we get back, it's a DOM parser, so what we get back is a DOM, basically, but it's not the DOM, it's just another DOM that we can use in the same way. It like has the same interface, pretty much, I think. I don't know what the specific differences might be, but we'll just say DOM equals that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find the part that we want to actually insert into this page. So if we look at this page, this is the page that we're going to be getting, right? And we can see the part that we want is this MW pages. We don't want the whole MW pages, though. We really just want this W, whining frog, this Z, Zhenhai, brown frog, etc. All right, so we don't want the heading. We don't need the heading. We don't need this information. We don't need another link to the page that we're on. So we want this, MW content left to right, right? And that's a div. And let's see, looks like we've got two of them. So we have one up here and one down here. So the one that we want is the one that's inside the MW pages, the media wiki pages. So we'll use that, and then that's what we'll get here. Okay, so that is going to be our, like, next page. And so then we can just totally insert that. That's going to be a DOM node. We can totally just insert that into the page that we're on. And then if there's another page, then we'll want to do this recursively, right? So in this case, there is not. So if we look for the same thing, then I guess we won't find one. Let's see. Oh, actually, we do. What is this? What are these? Hold up. Okay, interesting. So, I was hoping or thinking we wouldn't find that, but we do. What is it? Login? Oh, interesting. Oh, so these actually contain the fact that we were just on a query. Okay, cool. That's fine. So we want to update this so that it's not any of these. So what is this one? Looks like that's hidden somewhere. It says element hidden. Then we've got mobile view. We've got something up here. So we know that if we find the one we want, it's going to be within the MW pages. So that we'll use that selector. So we'll use the next page selector here. And yeah. So then we'll get it, we'll parse from string. We'll see how much of this actually works. So yeah, so we'll get that next page. And then I guess we'll just insert that into here. So we have all these LIs, we have all these MW category groups. And what is this? This is... It looks like this... Wait a minute. This is where we want to insert it, I think, is after this MW-content- left to right. So let's do that. So MW content dash left to right. And what is the parent of that? MW pages? Okay, so we'll insert after. So we'll go to MW pages and insert after. So insert adjacent element? I don't remember if that's... So insert before. Let's look. Before reference node is a child of a specified parent node, so it takes a... So it's a method of the parent node, I think. New node to be inserted. Okay, so we'll say insert before, I guess. We'll insert the next page, and it will be before You, challenge time. Give me your best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. I'll be JavaScript back. I don't know. I'm doing JavaScript. I don't think he ever did any such thing. All I remember is he said, I'll be back. I don't even know what movie it was. Probably The Terminator or something. Oh no, he said, get to the chopper. I don't know what that was from either. I don't think I ever saw any of those. I just know them from memes. Alright, let's see here. So, MW pages. And we will insert before whatever this is. So let's see what that looks like. So it's before a text node that says previous page, I guess. So it should probably, well, don't know why this came up. Oh, is this an ad? Let me put a song in. Let's see. So it says the following 200 pages are in this category, and then we have the MW-content, and we want to insert after. So I don't think I want insert before, I think I want insert after. So is it adjacent element? I think it must be. Relative to the target element, so we want after end. Okay, so if we select that, we want to insert it after end. Relative to the element it is invoked upon. Okay, so that's what we'll try. So we won't do MW pages, it'll be MW content left to right, and then we'll insert adjacent element, right? And then it's going to be a position, and we'll say after end. And then the element that we actually insert will be the next page. So that part is cool, but then, of course, once we've done that, we need to check and see if there are more pages that we need to get. So whoops. Oh, I think, okay, so that actually worked. I didn't even mean to send it, but it looks like it did work. It added the 3 and last pages in there. So it worked there, but if there's a longer one that's over like 400 pages, then we still need to get more pages. So this one has 138. Let's look for a long category. This one has 53. Boys Comics, let's look here. This is a long category, over 1900. So if I hit next page, it should insert the second page, but I didn't yet, oh wait. If I do the same thing here, oh, I didn't define parser. Parser equals new DOM parser. So it'll insert the second page, but only the second, because we're supposed to go back and insert more pages afterwards. Okay. So we'll go dom dot. So if, wait, hold up. So we'll say next page link equals dom.query selector next page selector, right? And then once we have that, we'll say if next page link, then we'll do the same thing. So we'll say get page equals, it'll take an href. We'll pass that href here. Actually, let me hold on to what we've got there for a second, because I'm gonna put it elsewhere. So, but we'll put the href in there. Then if next page link, then we will get page next page link dot href. So that'll be like recursive basically. And then we'll invoke get page with this. And we'll get rid of that. Okay, so let me copy this. So we've got a long category over 1900 pages. If we paste what we've got here, then we expect to get all the remaining pages bit by bit, right? So let's see. Oh, unexpected identifier get page. Oh, what did I do wrong? Next page selector equals if next page link get page. Oh, there needs to be one of these. Ah, classic. Okay, so now if we scroll down, we see it's getting longer, and uh-oh. This looks really bad. They're not even in order. What the heck happened? Oh, that's crazy. I don't even know if we got everything. It looks like we probably did, but they're completely out of order. It looks like they're in reverse order, basically. I didn't expect that. That's crazy. All right. Well, that's no good. Why are they in reverse order, apparently? That's nuts. Oh, I'm not sure why they're in reverse order, but that seems actually really crazy. It looks like, yeah, they might be in something like reverse order. I'm not sure. It's definitely not right. Okay. So, what did we do? Something crazy. So we got the page. Then we got this DOM. We did next page. Okay. Wait a minute. No, I don't know. So then we inserted, oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is why they're all getting inserted after this, but they need to be getting inserted after the last instance of that. That's what's going on, isn't it? Okay. They're all getting inserted in front of each other. Okay, so we'll say last div equals so we'll query selector all, And then I don't think query selector all returns a node list, and I don't think it implements pop, but we can just spread it if it doesn't. So let me just check. If we look at all the A's, there's over 2,000. Can we pop? No, we can't. But we can pop if we spread it into an array. So that'll get us the last one. That's what I'll do. So query selector all, we'll spread it, and then we'll pop off the very last one. And then we'll insert after the last. All right, let's copy that. Okay, so now I'm going to refresh. So we're just looking at the first 200, but we want to look at all of them. So we do that, and then we're going to insert everything into the page. And now they're not in reverse order. Okay, so potential problems here. Let's see. So the letter T heading is showing up in more than one place, right? Because we had letter T headings on more than one page. So the T's actually start here with tactics, but then there's a whole other page and it's got a T again before Togari. So that's messed up. How did this happen? Skip. Let's put another song in. How about... Okay. So we added everything in. We probably want to get rid of the extra headings. So let's take a look. So it's an H3, it just says B. So this is going to go into the user script. Getting rid of the H3s that have duplicate headings is probably pretty simple. So we want to watch out for these ones, because these ones legitimately belong here and have some of the same letters. But in this section, we want to just have each H3 heading appear once, not more than once. So it's in the MW-pages. So that was an ID, isn't it? MW pages. So MW pages H3. So we've got 38 of them. And then we'll say heading set equals new set. All right. And then for each heading, let's see, heading got highlighted, so I'm going to say sure, maybe just heading, it's fine. For each heading, we'll say if heading set has heading text content, heading.style.set property display. I'll just do that. We'll just go through them that way. Else heading set add heading text content. So that will undisplay, or the idea is that that should undisplay the headings that are extra. So that'll be good if that works. Okay, so ran that, and I only see one B now, but look, there's another problem. The B's are put right after the A's, so that's no good actually at all. That's pretty sad. I think what I did when I did this previously is I put in HRs to sort of separate so you could still see where like the page divisions were. So let's put this into a user script. Or did I create one already? I don't know. So create script. Actually, let me look at the dashboard. Turn all these off for now. Yeah, we don't have anything here. So this is going to be a new one. We're going to do all of this. And all of this. But we're not going to do this until after this thing gets done. But anyway, let me put it into the other editor so it's not so ugly. So, new file. This one is called more category pages user.js. All right. And that's cool. More category pages. I'll just call it again, more category pages. I feel like I did this already. I probably did. We'll match whatever category, or maybe not. I don't know. I'll put my name here. Add all of the category. I did do this before. Wait, where is it? Maybe I closed it out after I did it. Oh, it's right here. Okay, well that's fine. I'll just use the same description though. And then, let me pull up the linter. Okay, so there's a whole bunch in here. Parser is not defined, etc., etc. So we'll add in some keywords. We'll insert that. We'll do this. We'll do that. But then this part has to be done only after everything else has been done, I think. Or, yeah, I think this has to be done only after everything else is done. So we'll say if there is no next page link, then that is when we will do this. Okay, let's try this again. All right, so fewer, and it's just heading set is not defined. Okay, for each heading, if has text content, set property. Okay. No hot network questions. Yeah, that part looks about right. So then the only thing that I'm going to add here is that after we do this, or maybe even before we do this, let's add a HR. So we'll go next page. Actually, hold on. Let's do it like this. HR equals document create element HR. So we'll insert the HR here, and then after the HR, we'll do the last or the next page. Okay, so all right, now one problem here is this is going to run as soon as we open the page, which is not the way I did it in the past. In the past, I would add like a button to do this. Let's see what it's like if we do it as soon as we open the page, and then let's see if we want to add a button. Adding a button probably wouldn't take long. I don't know, maybe. Okay, so this is more category pages. Okay, so we've got all sorts of books or whatever. Okay, did we get the HR? Okay, so that helps because now I can see that it's paginated. I can see these are the B's. I almost, if we have this here, I almost still want to have the B heading. It's not needed. Then we have the C's, and those go down onto another page. We have the D's, those go down onto another page, and it goes to the top of this. So it's actually like a little ugly doing it this way. So we have this first whole page, 3 columns apparently, all the B's. I don't know. I might be okay with it this way. The fact that it's 3 columns like that, but that it's also paginated seems off. I think this might be the way it's gonna be though. That it's gonna have to be LM M N O P QRS. Yeah, if it's gonna be like this HR is definitely needed. Otherwise, it looks crazy. It already kind of looks crazy with it. XYZ. Okay. So that's fine. I'm gonna add a button so that we don't necessarily grab everything like the minute we come to the page. Because it's better, I think it's better to just have an option. So right here, next to where it says next page, maybe I'll add, I think just a button probably that says get all the other pages. So that is, so it's after the MW content LTR. So we have MW content LTR, and then later we have a sibling, which is an href that contains page from. And so after that, let's see, well, it's in these parentheses. So I actually probably want to add the button right at the end of MW pages, actually. There's 3 MW pages? Oh, there are 2 links to it. Okay. Or links that have something about it. Okay. So we'll look for this element, and that is where we will insert adjacent element before end, and this will be so we'll add the button there. And the button text will say get all pages. Get all following pages, maybe. Now we could also change it so that if we're on a page in the middle, we could get all the previous pages too. But let's not look at that necessarily yet. So here's the button. Actually, yeah, that seems fine so far. And so then we'll have this button, and instead of getting all the pages right at the start, we'll get it when we press the button. So we'll start by adding this button. And then we'll have this, and then we'll add the event listener to the button. So that when we click on this guy, we will do all of what it says in here. Right? Okay, let's see what the linter says. Nothing on this one, so that's cool. So that will be an event listener on the button. Okay, let's update it so it's like that. This is on more category pages. So paste, save, refresh. So this time we see only the start, but when we press this, it should put all the other pages in here somewhere. So let's take a look. Uh-oh. Is that right? Yeah, that looks right. Okay, cool. So if we are starting on a middle page, right? So there's a whole bunch of pages. We'll go to the next page. This is the following 200 are in this category. So it doesn't even, does it say even which page number we're on? Maybe not. But yeah, let's just say we start here. So the script actually did not trigger here, so let's update the match. So match category : star, but if we're on an interior page, category : and then there's possibly an and with some more. So do we just need to put that? I'm actually not sure, but let's just try like that. Okay, so now does that match? No. Okay, so let's see what doesn't match about it. Oh, index.php something something. Okay, so it's not this. So we'll match both of those. Okay, let's try like that. Okay, so there it is. All right, so we're starting with G's, and if we hit get all the following pages, it sticks all the following pages in there. All right. So then the question is, what about adding the previous pages? So it's going to be like pretty similar to what we've already done. Another thing we need to look at is if we're on the last page, then we shouldn't have a button like this. So let's go next page, because I think it is going to show that button and we don't want that. Maybe not. I'm not. Yeah, okay, so here it is. So in this case, we are on the last page, so we should not show the buttons. Let me get rid of that. So we appended the button, but we should have first checked for the next page selector. Const next page link equals this. So then when we do this, we'll get it from the next page link. But if there is no next page link, then we're not going to do any of this. Okay. Run my linter again. Next page selector is not defined. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, this needs to be up above. Love it. And then next page link is already declared. Oh. So we should rename this. That'll be okay. All right, cool. So we'll do that, but then it's going to be very similar when we look for the previous page link. So the previous page link, it says page until. Oh, interesting. So I think we just change page from to page until. So there's no page from, but we have page until. Ah, cool. All right, all right. That's neat. And we have two of them, one at the top and one at the bottom. Okay. So this is the end of the if. So now we do a whole new thing. Pre-page selector. And then so much of this is going to be the same. So we'll look for what we can pull out. Okay, so the button is going to have different text, and it's going to be inserted at... Honestly, it could probably be inserted at the same place. Okay, so let's move all of this into its own area. What do we call this? It's actually doing a couple different things, so it should probably be a couple different functions. But they can both be wrapped in one function that says, like, I don't know, button for more pages equals function and paste all that in here. And then it's going to take, like a descriptor. And it's going to take a, let's see, this can go outside. We can use the same one everywhere. Then when we do the href, that's going to be page link href. So that's what we'll use here. So then when we call this, we're going to call button for more pages following and next page link href. So that's cool. So we'll get the page link href. Let's see what else. We'll fetch I keep getting that. So here we'll do the same thing. Button for more pages, preceding pre-page link href. Pretty sure we also need to pass in the selector. Let's see, but where is that? Okay, but this is different, is the fact that the pages need to be inserted before and not after. So it'll take I guess a callback to decide how to place the pages. Page placer. And the page placer will be here. And we'll just pass into it next page. And then we'll pass in the selector. But 1 sec. Well, yeah, let's do this first. So we'll call the page placer, and it'll do all of this. So that will go in here. And it'll be pretty different in this case, but so it'll be, in this case, first div. The selector will be the same. We'll still want the HR. We will want to totally insert before start. So it'll be first div insert adjacent element before start HR. So it's very similar. So the page gets passed in here. And then this selector will be passed in. And in this case, it is, wait a minute, am I in the right place? No. Here. A little goofy. Maybe more than a little goofy. Okay. So then if next, well, then we'll do that. Okay, love it. Heading. Yeah, so that's all correct. So that might actually work. Let me check MDN to see if it's actually before start. Insert adjacent element. Oh no, it's before begin. Oh no. Okay, so this will be before begin. Okay, so we can try that out. Yeah, we can try that out. Passing in the callback here, I guess that seems a little JavaScripty. I guess it's cool. It's definitely not what you would do like in an object-oriented pattern, but I think it seems a little JavaScripty, perhaps. Anyway. Okay, so here we go. So, first of all, does it still match? Maybe not. I think it should. Wait a minute. More category pages. Oh, I got rid of the match that I had before. Let's put that here before I forget. And once this works, I think I'm logging off. But I think it will. I think it will work. Maybe not. If not now, then soon. Okay, so get all preceding pages is here. If we go previous page, then we have both buttons. So if I first get all following pages, then they show up here. All right, now let's give it the moment of truth. Will they show up? That looks about right. Okay, let's look it over. B. Okay, we got rid. Yeah, Actually, this does look right. Voila. Okay, yes, this works. So I'm gonna save that. Let me just check my linter one more time. Line length 114. Let's take a look. Okay. I mean, that's pretty finicky, but I still think it's a good idea to kind of follow that advice. Line, oh wait, still? Did I not save it? Oh wait. Oh wait, oh shoot. Shoot, it's actually changing it on me. Damn. What if I put each parameter on its own line? Okay, it allows that. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna make this the version in my TamperMonkey manager. It's not very big. I think, I mean, hey, it works. If it works, it works. It's simple. Okay, and that's the only thing to be added. So finish the Wikipedia category page fetcher. I think that's good, man. All right. I think I will end. Captain Birdseye was a chatter. I think he's long, long gone, but I think that's about it.